H1B registrations just now started. Let us have some exclusive chit chat with attorney. I'm going to add Soumya Konuri from Konuri Law Firm, and let us discuss about the H1B.
Andy.
Hello, Soumya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So everyone are very much excited about H1B latest 2027 cap registrations. This is the first time USCIS is going with wage level based lottery system, right? So can you please explain about some high level allowed both in the form allowed both?
So I have this form pulled up in front of me right now, and the form has pretty much the same thing that all of us have been anticipating. It's uh, it's the employer information and the beneficiaries information, and then we have a new section under the beneficiaries information asking for what the wage level is. So they have given what wage level does the employer want to qualify the beneficiary under, and we have to select the wage level in that category. And then there is one more new question which says what is the standard occupational classification, the SOC code for the beneficiary's preferred position. That is the second new question that has been included in the form. And the third one is what is the area of intended employment for the beneficiary's preferred position? So we have to give the state, city, and county of area that the intended employment is going to take place. So, like all of us are anticipating, these are the three questions that have been added to the new form.
Okay.
And again, all of us have talked a lot about how it's going to affect the person's probability into getting into the lottery. So,
Right.
wage level one would get one chance, wage level two would get two chances, wage level three beneficiary would get three chances, and wage level four would get four chances under the new system.
Okay. So just three more questions got added to the new H1B 2027 cap registration form.
Correct. That is what I'm saying.
Okay. So how does the USCIS going to determine the wage level applies to the same position? Does they have any barometer for that, or how does they determine?
So the Department of Labor already has wage levels: wage level one, wage level two, wage level three, and wage level four. So it depends upon the job duties, the complexity of the job, the salary that is being paid, the experience that is required for the beneficiary. So that is how an employer must talk and work with an immigration attorney and qualify a beneficiary under the correct wage level.
Okay. And the fees is going to be same for 2027 H1B cap?
It's $215 for registration, which is non-refundable.
Okay. And it's going to, the registration has to be done before 19th of March, right?
Right, EST noon. But I strongly recommend people not to wait until March 19th EST because there can be system glitches or website errors or so, whatever the reason may be. So try completing all the registrations by March 18th. And even today, we are not registering any H1B registration beneficiaries today. We are going to give it a few days so that we have more information on how everyone is doing it.
Okay. So, Soumya Garu, after looking at the form, how do you feel? Does your speculations came right? So how it's going to be? Are there going to be a lot of lotteries this year, or will there be second lottery? So, what are your speculations, and how do you feel after looking at the form?
After looking at the form, I think it is pretty much anticipated. We have all anticipated that these are the three things that might be added, but we were not sure as to the format or how the questions would be formulated. But it is pretty much the same thing that we have all been anticipating the past few weeks since the new final rule has been published. And uh, with regard to registrations, probably employers will be more careful with the registrations, and they would probably only let qualified candidates enter into the registration. Again, having said that, this year we also have this proclamation, the 100K proclamation.
Right.
So we might not see so many people from out of the US entering into the lottery, which also is going to significantly decrease the number of registrations, is what I think.
Okay, okay. So the 100,000 rule has came up.
Right. The proclamation has come up, right? So anyone who is in the US, it does not apply to someone who's already in the US requesting for a change of status. But any consular processing, it's going to affect. So the lottery, of course, it's probably employers are not going to file H1B registrations for those who are not in the US.
Okay, and what about for counselor process? For if someone wants to go into counselor process this year, who had done with their masters and who have their OPT or STEM OPT still for 2 years or 1 year, so will they get affected with this 100,000 rule?
If they want to apply it under a consular processing, yes, it will be affected. So we strongly recommend not to do that. Please file it under a change of status because USCIS has already been sending out notice of intent to deny or RFEs for those who have requested for consular processing and trying to again come back into a change of status after the proclamation has come out. So please just do a change of status and do not do consular processing this year.
Okay, and what about multiple registrations? Can people file two H1B lotteries, three H1B lotteries, or from different employers? Will that be fine this year?
I do not see any advantage because the beneficiary's passport number is being asked. So the beneficiary should be getting the same number of chances like he or she did in the previous years with this additional layer.
Okay, and how this SOC code is going to come up? How the role, wage level, and the salary is going to affect this registration process.
So there are few specialty occupation codes that have been set out, and depending upon what the job duties are that are going to be performed by the beneficiary, they are going to you can suggest a SOC code. So let's say there is a computer programmer or a software engineer. Depending upon not just the job title, depending upon the job duties, a person, the employer can see which SOC code rightly fits. Under the which SOC code fits for this particular beneficiary. And depending upon the educational background and the experience that the beneficiary has, and depending upon what skill is required to perform these duties that the employer is claiming that he or she needs the beneficiary for, that is how the wage level is determined.
Okay, okay. And what are the most common mistakes usually employers do? And could you suggest something for employers? Because sometimes the lotteries get disqualified because of employers' small mistakes, right?
Right. So the employer should have the correct name. If the employer is doing business as a different name but has different name on paper, the employer must be sure to include both the names and the right name, entering the right FEI, and entering the right beneficiaries' names, entering the details of the beneficiary as per the passport of the beneficiary. This was the guidelines that we followed previously, but with this year, it is even more important that the beneficiary is entered under the right SOC code, right area of employment, right wage level.
Okay.
So the employer must make sure that the job duties are aligning with the SOC code that is being requested in the registration and entering into the right wage level and providing the area of employment.
Okay, okay. And if someone is not going to select in this lottery system, what will be the alternative visa options for them?
So it depends a lot about the. So there are different beneficiaries who have different skill sets. So, for example, there can be someone who has 10 or 15 years of experience yet did not get selected in the lottery. While there can be beneficiaries who have little experience but might have gotten selected in the lottery. So, for someone who has extraordinary ability or extensive experience in that field, we can try doing a O1 petition, O1A petition, especially H1B, since you are speaking to the Indians, it's probably going to be IT sector, right? So
Right.
if they have extraordinary ability, then we can try qualifying them under a O1A.
Okay.
And if they have been working in managerial roles or something, then we can probably try L1. So we, it's not just you can just try this and this, but we can evaluate a person's resume and then see which might be a better fit for that particular beneficiary.
Okay, and is there any chance that all level four people will get selected for sure, or all level three till level three people, all the people who are going to the lottery under level three will get selected for sure? Is there anything like that?
It's a lottery system, so it's going to be a mix. It's just that the number of chances that, so let's say there are 20 papers and your name is entered three times in the paper, just because your name has been entered three times, the probability might increase, but there is no guarantee that you might be picked up from the lottery.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
it's just
Still, there might be people who are unlucky even getting into L4.
right.
Okay, okay. And for example, if there is a person who wants to get into a higher wage level, though he is not qualified for that wage level because of his age or experience, what do you suggest for them?
We would not recommend doing that, because even if they get selected in the registration process,
Mhm.
it might not work out when USCIS is reviewing the petition.
Okay.
So we would not suggest doing that.
Mhm.
Just stick to what the job actually needs and
Mhm.
what the beneficiary's qualifications are, is something that I want all employers to follow.
Okay, okay. And is there anything else that employers need to follow for sure? To make sure all their employees, petitions, lotteries done properly.
Making sure that the job duties are right,
Mhm.
and making sure that the job duties align with the SOC code that is being requested,
Mhm.
and entering the beneficiary into the right wage level, and providing all the areas of employment where the beneficiary will be working.
Okay. And what happens, for example, if there is an employee who submitted in the lottery system where, now he is working for X client with X amount of salary, and, after a couple of weeks, he's going to get a Y job with, Y salary, then, everything will get changed, right? So what happens to the people like those?
So USCIS is going to review those petitions with extra caution.
Mhm.
And as long as the employer is not trying to game the system, and as long as it is a genuine change, and if
Okay.
you can prove that it's a genuine change, then I don't think there is going to be any setback for that.
Okay, because if, for example, if a candidate applied in L4 category and now his salary got decreased, now he is applicable for just L1 or L2. In that case, how it's going to be?
Exactly, as I was telling,
Mhm.
the final rule issued by USCIS clearly mentions that if they think that the US employer is trying to game the system and just entered it for more chances, enter the beneficiary into level 4 just for the sake of getting more chances.
Mhm.
And eventually, if they say that no, 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 we have changed our mind and we want this,
Mhm.
USCIS is going to review the merit of the case. And if the
Okay.
merits of the case are not genuine and legit, then probably there is a strong chance that USCIS might just deny the petition.
Okay. Okay. And what are the chances of having second lottery this year?
I cannot tell anything, because we really don't know how many people are going to enter into the lottery.
Mhm. Mhm. And
So
for someone like who has failed lottery for multiple times, and what point they should take seriously considering a long term alternative immigration, strategies like EB1 or EB2, because after the lottery not getting picked for years and years.
So EB1, EB1s, EB2s, EB3s, these are all long-term goals. These are all
Mhm.
for green card. These are not temporary visas.
Mhm.
H1B is a non-immigrant temporary visa.
Right.
The dual intent, of course. So when you're talking about EB1s or EB2s or EB3s, it's since it's Indians, we do not have the priority date current. For example, the March visa bulletin that was recently released, it says the EB1 and EB2 became current for many countries. So for people who are belonging to those countries, EB1 and EB2 NIW is probably something we would recommend because we can file without waiting for the priority date.
Okay.
But for Indians, it's not the same thing. So we would suggest non-immigrant visas for someone who has been trying for several years. And yes, non-immigrant visas like again L1 or O's, we would try fitting the beneficiary under those criteria.
Okay. And when this lottery process, when they're going to share the results, who won the lottery?
It's going to be on March 31st.
Okay. And what are the chances of, do you have any speculations like, these many people are going to, enter into lottery, 5 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 1 lakh, just 40,000, 20,000?
I do not have any data with me, but probably it is going to be significantly less from what we have seen in the past years.
Okay, so finally, Soumya Garu, what do you want to tell to people who are getting into 2027 CAP H1B registration process? What you want to tell to employers and what you want to tell to employees?
To employers and employees, just there are laws that are made for us to follow. So just follow the laws. Don't try to take the shortcut, I would say, just for the sake of increasing your chances in the lottery, because it might altogether be denied at the last stage. So just stick to what the law is telling, and if you qualify under something, just stick to that qualification. Do not hype it or do not put yourself under an overqualified area.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Soumya Garu.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.